His morning crew with Rob, Allison, and Jim.
Can't wait for you to meet this lovely couple that have something in common.
We have a love story for you, a sweet little love story that involves his radio of all things. I want you to meet Jess and Greg. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
They're in Charleston right now. So let's go back. Take us back to the day of the solar eclipse, which is the day that you two met.
Yeah, so it was August 21st, right? August 21st. We were actually texting each other, watching from our own apartments in Mount Pleasant and North Charleston. And then afterwards, it's funny because God's timing, honestly, is just unbelievable. Because you fell asleep, right? Right after the solar eclipse. And then right after that, I fell asleep. So when I woke up, it was already sunset. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to go to Starbucks just because I want to try one of those new Frappuccinos, right? So I'm walking out to my car in the parking lot, and he wants to meet up. So he texts me, and he's like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? And I was like, I was literally getting in my car right now to go get coffee. And then we met up at the pier, the waterfront park pier in Mount Pleasant. And then from there, it was just a whole adventure of like going to the Waffle House, talking for, 6 hours. And then ultimately the night ended in the car for like 3 hours from like 11 until 2 o'clock. We were just listening to Chris Tomlin and Matt West and talking about, our mission and our values and our faith being the foundation of who we are as people. And that's the night that we knew that we met our other half.
How precious is that? I just love it. And now you both do some amazing mission work in Charleston in schools.
Yep. Yeah, we do. We both work for AmeriCorps with a little program through AmeriCorps called Reading Partners. We both work with elementary school kids, and we help them get up to their grade level with reading and literacy. We work hands-on with the kids and other volunteers that come into the schools to help with them. She's at Mitchell Elementary, and I'm actually at Bonner Elementary out there in Monk's Corner area, but she's downtown.
So right now there are about 17 schools that are being served in Charleston and Berkeley County, and we have about 8 students that we are serving.
So how would you say the past 3 months have been for your life? Because it's only been 3 months since you guys are made this connection through his radio and the music.
Honestly, it is so hard to explain. I think the biggest lesson that we've learned is that your hardest, for the single Christians out there, the hardest test that we learned is being able to wait and to know that if you pray, I wrote down so many qualities that I wanted in my perfect guy, and I would have never expected that he could have been formed 4 years before I was born until I met him. So, just step by step, you never know where God is leading you until suddenly you're in a place where you're like, God brought me through all these different things, moving down to Charleston, coming to AmeriCorps, and then suddenly I meet him. And it's, God had it planned all along. But for me, I was just going step by step. I didn't see the bigger picture, but God always does. And he just never ceases to amaze me. And our faith just continues to grow every day. We fall in love with each other more and more every day. And it's just been the most incredible experience that we're still growing through every day. It's unbelievable.
3 of the qualities that you mentioned, what were they, Jess?
What did I mention?
3 qualities that you wrote down. That's what he meant for me.
Oh, for you. Okay, let's see. You're quirky. You are faithful. And you are unique.
So sweet. I can't stop smiling. You guys are just the cutest thing ever. And I love how, Jess, you called Greg your Boaz.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one of my coworkers, actually, I was telling her about Greg because I was at a training meeting, and I was, he showed up for 30 minutes. He drove 45 minutes just to see me for 20 to 30 minutes during my lunch break. And I was telling my coworker about him before he even actually applied to AmeriCorps. And I was like, this guy is just amazing. You know, we have all these things in common. Like, I'll text him, you know, I want to go get coffee, and he'll call me to go get him coffee. Or I'll plan for 5 hours during a training session to surprise him with coffee. And the minute I get in my car to leave that meeting, he texts me and says, hey, can you come bring me coffee to my work? And I'm like, okay, Lord, this is supposed to be a surprise. So I'm going to need y'all to like keep this between us for right now. It's just, we have the same mind. We finish each other's sentences. We saw a Kung Fu movie. We both leave the cinema and we karate chop the door at the same time. And there was nothing planned about that. So it's just, he's my other half. He's my Boaz. And, you know, the Bible says that Ruth met Boaz when she was working.
So I see a commonality here. There's his radio and coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yep,
right.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's right.
And right now, you don't know this because we're connected up with Jess and Greg on Skype, but they're over at, that's your mom's house, right, Greg?
Yes.
And what's
it
she
is.
doing for you guys right now?
She just made us waffles, actually, Belgian waffles.
Oh, man, I'm getting hungry
I
now.
want some, Mom.
The whipped cream, the strawberries, the
That's
syrup,
right.
everything.
All right. Well, bon appetit. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Thank you.
too.
Merry
Thank you so
Christmas.
much.